I got high.
Perfect.
I was gonna get up.
So we start off hour number 2.
But I got high.
Back on the Bernie and Sid show.
Let my brother finish it.
My room is still messed up.
And I know why. Hey, ho, hey, cause I got high. Because I got high.
Because I got high.
Take it away, Sidney.
You'll know why. Our next guest. Well, this guy. Let's start with what he's done so far. A professional wrestler, actor, political commentator, author, Navy SEAL, politician, was the 38th governor of Minnesota from 1999 through 2003. Whatever he's done, even the play-by-play and the color for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, whatever he's done well. And most importantly, he's a good friend of the Bernie and Sid show. Our buddy Jesse Ventura. Jesse, it's Bernie and Sid in New York. How are you, pal?
How are you guys doing today? I'm doing okay, but we're getting creamed with awful weather today. The snow's hitting Minnesota.
Oh, that's great, man. That's
No,
fantastic.
it ain't. I hate it.
Well, then, I mean, you have Jesse Ventura of all people. I mean, you can pick where the hell you want to live, no?
Mexico.
Well, I can't really pick it, but I do have a home in Mexico. I just don't like winter. I'm born and raised in Minneapolis, and I'm one of the few Minnesotans who doesn't know how to skate.
but the truth is, Jesse, and I got to know this because of my cousin Norm, who you did beat in the gubernatorial race, is that if you really don't want to go outside this time of year in your state, you don't have to. Like, isn't everything connected by basically outdoor tunnels? Basically.
Well, yeah, they have that's if you live downtown.
Right.
You know,
right.
you can get anywhere in downtown Minneapolis through the system they have that connects all the buildings, so you don't have to go outside. But who wants to live indoors for 3 to 4 months? And the reason I'm not an outdoor person, I was a competitive swimmer in high school, so I spent all winter in a swimming pool.
Wow.
I was in liquid water rather than frozen.
Is there anything Jesse Ventura hasn't done?
It's amazing.
But God, listen, Jesse Ventura's got this new book out. Well, it's been out for a while. We had him on a few weeks ago. Jesse Ventura's Marijuana Manifesto, which calls for an end to the war on drugs and other things. And you must be somewhat elated over the results of the election. 5 states legalized marijuana. I think 3 of them recreational, which was pretty impressive. No, Jesse?
Yeah, it's good that it's happening. I think we're up to 28 states now have done something that has made marijuana more legal, be it medical marijuana or, as they say, recreational. Although, let me correct, my good friend Tommy Chong, and who'd know more about marijuana than him, he says there should be no difference between medical and recreational because those that smoke it for the euphoric feeling are doing it for mental health. And I would rather have someone take a hit of marijuana than have to take Prozac or something.
How did you know? He said that Cheech and Chong were in our studio here, Jesse, like 2 weeks ago, and we brought you up, and Tommy Chong said that. Is that where you heard that, or someplace else?
Yeah, no, I heard that directly from Tommy.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I follow Tommy on the internet all the
Gotcha.
time. He has brilliant quotes. What he puts out on a daily basis is a beam of lightness and fun that I wait for every day.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because we got both him and Cheech in studio, like I said a couple of weeks ago, and we found Tommy. It actually surprised us. It was Tommy who actually knocked us off our chairs a couple of times.
Oh, he's a very, very smart guy, Tommy Chong, by no stretch. He's not the character that he plays in the movies all the time.
No, and a very upbeat guy. Very upbeat, nice guy, Tommy Chong. Now, listen, Jesse Ventura, you have the book out, Marijuana Manifesto, but a couple of weeks ago, on October 30th, as a matter of fact, I watched it. I don't know if you did. 60 Minutes had a very damning report on the legalization of marijuana. They went to Colorado. You had a doctor saying that more babies are being born with marijuana in their system. Teenagers are showing up at a unprecedented rate to the emergency room, ODing on marijuana.
Really? How do you OD on it? There's never been anyone in the annals of history that has overdosed marijuana.
Oh, no, they got bad stuff, I guess, out there. There was a batch of it, some bad stuff, and it did kill some people. I don't know what was in it.
Oh,
but
I don't buy that a bit.
Yeah.
No one has died in an overdose of marijuana. Now let's take a look at, 60 Minutes, who probably is working for the pharmaceutical industry and who's probably out there to benefit whomever, the alcohol, tobacco industry. Let's look at a couple other statistics that just came out in the Wall Street Journal. Donald Trump has talked about restoring jobs to this country, right?
Right.
Colorado, 18,000 new jobs because of the legalization of marijuana. You know what the full economic impact has been to the state of Colorado? The full thing, not just the pot selling, but everything that goes with it? $2.4 billion.
Okay.
Right in the Wall Street Journal. So take 60 Minutes and stick it up there.
Hey, listen.
They had an agenda that they went out to try to make it look bad. It is not. There is nothing like that happening. And when they talk about kids, I get that all the time. Well, Governor, if you legalize marijuana, what do I do when I catch my 13-year-old with it? Simple. You do something called parenting.
Right.
And you treat it no different than if you caught your kid with alcohol at 13 or if you caught your kid with tobacco at 13. The point is, we're talking about adults now. We're not talking about
that's true.
for children.
You are 100% right about that, Jesse, but the argument is, of course, that the kids view it as if the government says it's okay, if it's legal, well, then it must be okay. I can do it myself.
Does the government say smoking's
No,
okay?
It doesn't. It doesn't. And kids do drink.
Does the government say drinking alcohol?
I get your point.
And dying from it by binge drinking
But if
at college?
if the net effect, though, is that more kids will smoke pot, and it does adversely impact their cognitive abilities as young people, if it does, the net effect is more kids smoke pot, maybe that argument is a valid one.
Well, the point is that how many kids, when they talk about entry-level drugs, let's talk about that. Tobacco is the first entry-level drug a kid tries. And that you can get hooked on for life, and the end results of its use is death. The second drug you get hooked on is alcohol, entry-level drug.
I love it.
Now, let's look at what's happened with all the states that have legalized marijuana. Guess what they've seen? Another myth is being destroyed. Heroin usage in all the states that have legalized pot has gone down.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
Jesse, you're a very good advocate. Jesse.
Well, the point is, there's another. Now, let's look at it from an aspect of history for a moment. If George Washington and Thomas Jefferson were alive today, they'd be raided by the DEA. They'd be doing 10 to 12 years in the federal penitentiary as major drug dealers.
Yeah. Listen, as an addict myself, I've been to rehab twice. Everyone knows my story. Just because you smoke pot doesn't mean you're automatically going to graduate to cocaine and heroin and everything else. So I think it's kind of unfair that it has that label. There are plenty of people that smoke pot and they stop there or don't do drugs ever again. Anyway, what do you think about this? You mentioned Donald Trump's name a couple of moments ago. I was reading the New York Times 3 days ago, saw this great story by Charles Homans. He sat down with your guy, Bill Hilsman, guy in Minnesota who actually helped with your campaign. Yep. And Bill Hilsman said, here's the title of the article, what Jesse Ventura's Minnesota could tell us about Donald Trump's America. So even though policy-wise you guys are not even close, you were compared in the New York Times 3 days ago to Donald Trump. How a guy could, no one thought Donald Trump would win, no one thought you would win, and yet you both won. What do you think about that comparison?
Well, that comparison's nice, but there's one major difference.
What's that?
He's a Republican. I did it as a complete independent.
Right.
He had the backing and the money and the financial wherewithal of the gang. And he's still an elected Republican today. I was elected an independent.
But he's an outsider.
Difference.
He's an outsider who is not your traditional Republican whatsoever.
But he still joined, just like Bernie joined the Democrats.
Well,
You're not an independent when you join one of these parties. Let me make that very clear.
That's true.
Once you join these parties, you are no longer an independent.
But within the parameters of the system that is in place, he's the most outside you could be, and of course he didn't use any outside.
I disagree.
Okay, how's that? He didn't take any money
because of his VP pick. He picked the biggest insider he could possibly get.
That was to help him win. To help him win, Jesse.
Well, maybe to help him win, but it was also to bring on board that. And look at, and now I hope the media is wrong, but every person he's talking about bringing into his administration, he's not draining the swamp. He's refilling it with the same pollutants that were in it 10 to 15 years ago.
He put this edict down that you can't lobby for 5 years after you leave my administration. That's draining the swamp.
Well, yeah, but look, he's going to bring in Newt Gingrich.
No, Newt Gingrich is out. is out.
Good.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad I'm good. That's the first sign that I want to see because it scared me when he picked Mike Pence.
I understand he's going to bring in Rosie O'Donnell.
Yes, that's
to
exactly
be
right.
entertainment secretary. He's bringing.
Well, I doubt that.
It's a team. I doubt that. It's a team of rivals. He's bringing in Mitt Romney. He's talking to even a guy like Ted Cruz. I'm sure you're not a fan of.
To me, there's the sellout right there.
Well, he's sort of an outsider.
These are the same. No, these are the same people that called him a con man.
True.
And called him
Phony.
all those names.
That's right.
And now he's going to bring and trust those people?
Well, Abraham
How
Lincoln
would you
did it.
Possibly, these people are the most untrustworthy people you could imagine.
Well,
They
listen.
go whichever. They're on Trump's wagon now because he won.
Well, there's no doubt.
Wait a
You're
minute.
right.
The same thing happened to me in Minnesota when I ran for mayor. I had both parties oppose me when I ran for Brooklyn Park mayor. They co-signed a letter calling me the most dangerous man in the city.
Oh.
I ended up winning the election 66% to 33%. I won all 21 districts. 2 weeks later, these two parties independently then came courting me to join them.
Bastards.
And that shows me clearly they have no credibility. They're getting on board with Trump because he won.
Look at this. He's got
And if Trump surrounds himself with Ted Cruz and Mitt Romney and all this old guard, then everything he did was for nothing.
Well, we're going to give him a chance. We don't know exactly what he's doing.
I'll give him a chance. Let's see.
But he's garnering the respect already of a lot of foreign leaders, including your boy Vladimir Putin.
Yeah.
Good. I'm all for him.
I know you are.
If we can talk to Russia, I think that's great.
Didn't you actually give Donald Trump credit in some magazine or paper for actually wanting to work with Russia?
Absolutely, I give him credit. I love it.
And
In fact, let me state this. If in his 4 years he can make us friends with Russia, I'll call his presidency a complete success.
how do you like that, Jesse Ventura?
Now, look, Jesse.
All we are
you're-
saying is give Trump a chance.
You are a very bright guy, if not a genius, and you're very quick to either credit or criticize these guys running for president. Yet you, after winning the gubernatorial in Minnesota, people would have thought you'd have run for president already. And you kind of joked around with Howard Stern. A couple of years ago, you'd be his running mate. But now, on a serious note, another entertainer, actor, has come out this week and said he is very seriously considering running in 2020, and that's Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. Am I wrong that you have already said, just like Howard Stern, you would love to run alongside The Rock?
If he's an independent.
Well, you don't know that
If
yet?
he chooses to run independent and doesn't join either of these two gangs, I would run with Dwayne Johnson in 2020, and imagine that. Wrestling would take over the country.
Two wrestlers. I mean, do you think that in all seriousness, people would take that seriously? I mean,
Absolutely they would. You saw Trump win. You've seen me. Hey, Dwayne Johnson just got named sexiest man in America.
Yes, he
You
did.
think that ain't going to carry weight?
No doubt
In
about it.
today's world, let's remember something. Trump made all these grandiose promises. He's going to fix everything for everybody. I can't wait to see where he's going to get the money if he stays in these wars.
No, that's his thing. He's not going to. One of his the appeal to people like me was that no more stupid wars. The Iraq
Good.
War, you idiots!
Hey,
What were you doing?
If Donald Trump holds the line, there were three main criterias for me, and one of them he's going to fail on miserably. But I'll explain them. I voted for Dr. Jill Stein because she, using bowling terminology, she rolled 3 strikes in the 10th frame for me.
okay, because you were a Gary Johnson guy before that, even after Olympia.
But the problem was the libertarians don't believe in climate change. I do.
But she was very.
And Jill Stein would get us out of the war. She'd end the war on drugs, and she'd start a war on climate change. Those are my 3 major criterias. That's why I voted for her in the end. But that's where Trump falls short. He's putting people in charge of the EPA who are going to destroy our country with pollution. He supports these stupid pipelines for oil, which oil is an old source of energy. It's time we move beyond this archaic source of energy and move to the future. And if Trump goes that direction, he's barking up the wrong
And if
tree.
you and The Rock go that direction that you're talking about, you'll never win Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania.
Hell, we won't.
Which is what?
I was making an oil. They lie to you.
Coal
They tell
and
you these pipelines are going to get us off dependency. That's the biggest lie on the planet. They're doing it so they can sell. They're international companies who sell oil worldwide. We won't benefit one nickel from these pipelines.
Look, energy independence and not committing economic suicide, and people will be put to work by utilizing these pipelines and accessing the natural gas and the oil that we have, and by clean coal mining.
They could do the same thing by going to work on the sun.
Hey, listen, by the
same thing could be done by putting the focus to alternative energy and not be controlled by the oil companies, which is why we're at war in the Middle East, is all support of oil. That's why we're there, no doubt about it. And that's why it continues, just like we're in Afghanistan. You know why we're in Afghanistan?
We're going to take the oil.
No. Afghanistan, they discovered the largest vein of lithium in the world. What's lithium used for? Every cell phone and every computer battery on the planet. That's why. See, they fight wars.
Take the lithium.
They hold up this stuff of patriotism and all this BS.
It's all nonsense.
When the reality is they're fighting the wars for economic gain. They don't have nothing to do with what they tell us.
I believe that.
You know, if I was Jesse Ventura, I'd smoke a bowl and go throw some snowballs out in Minnesota. You got the weight of the world on your shoulders, and you got to book out Jesse Ventura's Marijuana Manifesto. A brilliant guy, a worldly guy, Jesse Ventura.
Great guest. Jesse, you're a great guest. You really are. You really are a great guest.
I'll tell you this, I'm going to work. My show will start on Russian television momentarily within the next month.
Good. Good. Congratulations.
Good for you.
I work for the Russians.
Hey, Jesse Ventura.
So does Larry King.
Yeah, I know.
Jesse, good luck to you on the book. Thank you for appearing on the Bernie and Sid show. Always a pleasure to have you.
All right, very good, guys. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Governor Ventura. By the way, Bo Dietl's going to join us next half hour.
Oh, good.
He's somewhat